But you were explaining why there's a different visions from NDEers about the future.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, from my perspective, again, it's like it's just to help people reflect, right? Like if I say, oh, it was horrible, man, we're going to be blown up. So I think if people say that, it's just to help people reflect, right? To get the collective, like
Mm.
it's like, man, I don't want that. I don't want, I don't want us to, I don't want my grandchildren, my children to completely, be
Mm.
destroyed, right? So then it's like people, every individual can make that change, like instead of me or my kids or whoever, like, I'm gonna go join the military and go to war. It's like, no, you know what? I don't think so, man. I don't want to follow that path. I don't want humanity to end up in that, right? Or politicians, young kids that are starting politics, right? They
Mm.
might hear that and it's like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna change the world. You see what I'm saying? So I think if people do say that, it's just to help people reflect so that they can make that choice. I think ultimately it's all leading towards a peace. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you compare, I always tell people, if you compare how we are now to where we used to be, I mean, we used to murder people like nothing, right? I mean, it was,
Mm.
I mean, the Roman Empire, the Vikings, the Spanish that came to America, the English. I mean, you name it. If you look at the history, it's like they used to kill people like there was nothing, like no big deal. So where we are now, I mean, it's baby steps. It seems like baby steps. We kind of wanted to go faster, but it's all leading towards that peace. And so I just, and from my own
Mm.
experiences as well, it's like we're ascending from my experiences, like we are ascending as a collective to the fourth dimension. And in the fourth dimension, right, it's a realm of transparency, compassion, and integrity. So that's why, from my experiences, systems are going to collapse. And then, even like in universities right now, right? All these kids are like, against the wars, right? So
Yeah.
they're not resonating with the old program. The old program was about the control, the fear, the wars. But even all the new generations, they're not resonating anymore with this old
Mm.
program. So no, I believe that it's all leading towards a peace. And so that's just my perspective. It's just to help people reflect, so that they
Yeah.
don't make that choice.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how that's a possibility because I have seen somewhere. I mean, if it's these beings, whoever these beings are that are kind of managing the NDE, if they're showing them these NDEers, this viewpoint, and also telling them go back and tell everybody what you saw in a way, like you said, to teach them and to help hopefully get them to steer towards a better place. Like, okay, do you want the world to like blow up into a million bits? No, okay, then stop doing this, stop doing that, don't touch the nuclear weapons, etc. Like I can see how it is that somewhat of a positive manipulation. But there's other people, the other idea that came up in the comments that I also very much agree with, and I'm curious to know your response on this because you understand about the different dimensions and parallel dimensions, is that some people said that what these NDEers are seeing are varying parallel dimensions. So like there are some where the earth ends up being completely destroyed, and there's some where the earth is a utopia, and that there's just all
Yeah.
these gazillions of opportunities, and you know.
I
So what do you
mean,
think?
it could be, but at the end of the day, it's all simulation. So it's not even real. So,
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
you
okay.
know, and then even if
Um,
you all die, well, so where do you guys go? Where does everybody go? To the afterlife, to heaven, to this higher
yeah,
realm.
yeah.
So, I mean, even if, like, let's say there was an explosion, a solar explosion that and the whole planet disappear. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, we'll just go to the next game. It's all a simulation anyway. So even if that was the case in that parallel universe, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It's just a simulation.
All right, number 8. What exactly does the light represent in NDE?
Yeah. So yeah, again, for me, like, that's why, you know, I'm just giving again my perspective, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I saw the light, I saw God. And a lot of many, if you read many of the NDE books, everyone's like, yeah, I saw God, the light, and which it is, but really what it is just a portal for me, in my experience. The way I came to understand, it's just a portal, to outside the matrix or back into the fourth, fifth dimension. So the light, it is, and the light really is just a fraction of our higher self. You see what I'm saying? So the player, right, playing the video game up here and all those lifetimes. So it's basically you're coming out of that simulation, that fraction, the avatar coming out of that simulation. And who's the light? It's your higher self, right? It's the player that's projecting that light. So it really is yourself, but it's a portal to your higher self. You see what I'm saying? So that's the way I came to understand that the light is just a portal to your higher self, or to ourselves, and or to the fourth and fifth dimensions.
Yes, and
So
that
yeah, that's the way I came.
completely, yeah, completely resonate because that confirms. I've read a lot of NDEs that confirm both of those things, that light is a portal and that the light that people are seeing during the NDE is a connection to their higher self. I
Mhm.
totally agree with that. I do have a question that, I mean, I don't even know if I should ask it because it might start to get really like confusing here, but there are some people, because I just want to make sure that everybody, I just want to make sure that everybody's questions are being asked. You know what I mean? That's why I ask so many
Yeah, of
questions.
course.
Because there are people who, like I said, they believe in like the soul trap and we're stuck in reincarnation. And you have whole YouTube channels where people are literally telling you, don't go to this light, go to that light. You know, if there's two lights, and make sure you go this, you know, because otherwise you're going to come right back in and stuff like that. Um, in your experience and from what you've gathered, do you believe that there are any lights that people should avoid? Like, is there a possibility that there's another portal that, you know, maybe a false light that could potentially come up that would not be your higher self? Like, have you heard of anything like this?
Nah, nah, nah. I haven't experienced anything like that, and you know, I don't know. I don't believe that, but I just haven't experienced. But again, the whole thing with the soul trap, it again is perception. Like how you're perceiving it. People that are like, had a rough life, or who knows, like they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of here, and they're like, so they perceive it as a soul trap, like, right,
Mm,
like, please, man, like, what's going on? Why do we keep coming back here and suffer and suffer? Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's just that perspective. It's the lower perception. It's the lower perspective of reincarnation or multidimensionality, is that perception, because, oh my, I don't want to come back here. It's just a trap. But it's not. The higher perception of that is that it's just a game, and that it's all it's we're here just for the experience,
mm,
and that also there is an end. You're right. I mentioned before in your last podcast that when I had my NDE, that I was shown the cycle of reincarnation,
mm,
and then I saw how there was a beginning, and then every lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, I keep evolving more and more and more and more and then there was a cycle until it came to the end. So it went around a circle, but there was an end. So, and then from there, I was able to see that after we complete the cycle of
mm.
reincarnation, and then again, it was just for the experiences, and again, they're all just a simulations. It's just for to have a good time and to learn the lessons. And then after that, there was other schools and dimensions, higher dimensions that we can go, or other games. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like even it's not that it's a trap, because there is an end, and it's just for the experience. And that's just like learning, like I think I mentioned last time you interviewed me, it was like learning your ABCs. That's
Yeah, yeah.
like
We're
that's
still in kindergarten.
every lifetime is your ABCs. So that, and once you graduate, then okay, then now you can go to the next levels, the higher dimensions.
Mhm. And I like
That's
this
my
idea of the light being our higher self. Because again, like I said, a lot of NDEs confirm that that's when that is true or could be true. I do wonder if and I guess it would make sense, like, because some people say that you should be communicating with your higher self on a regular, not a regular basis, but you should at some point during your life be communicating with your higher self. Like that, there's a goal there, right? So I would assume that if somebody is quote unquote enlightened or in the spiritual path of trying to become one with their higher self or connect with their higher self during their avatar experience, whatever, that when they see that light, they will be able to feel it. They would know, okay, that's me. That feels like home. You know, a lot of people say it feels like home. And so that also would confirm that it is the higher self. It's a part of you, a bigger part of you. So that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
something I want to just quick say in that is your higher self that is really putting all the life experiences in your path. The good and the bad, and they're not even bad. People are like, oh my God, I'm going through all these hardships and all this. It's like, God, what are you doing this? Or and it's not even that. It's your higher self, the avatar, right? Putting seeing that simulation, and it's like, okay, I need to help myself in the avatar evolve. So how can I help that avatar evolve? Okay, there's like a database of a quest of different experiences that person, that my avatar needs to go through. It needs to go through these challenges, but so that it can overcome that lesson. So then if you kind of like if you don't want to like face that lesson, your higher self will keep sending you over and over similar experiences so that you confront your quest, so that you can overcome and master the lesson. So at the end, yes, it is always your higher self, like kind of like bringing experiences into our lives. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the ultimate it would be like to try to connect to your higher self, understand that we're in a simulation, so that you don't take things so, I mean, I'm not saying serious, but so that you don't get so attached to especially the negative, the hardships experiences. I think it's like, wait a minute, we're in a simulation. This is just a dream. And so
Mm-hmm.
if my higher self, I want to come out and to my higher self, and okay, so what's the lessons? Why am I going through these experiences? Oh, of course, the most, I have to let go, or I have to surrender. I
Mm-hmm.
have to complete surrender, I have to completely let go, I have to complete forgive, and so that I can move on, move forward and towards the light, So I believe that the more you can connect to your higher self, like the understanding that it's just, your higher self is having all these experiences. You're only an avatar, right? We're all just avatar. So
Mm-hmm.
if we kind of connect to that and then navigate life to follow our passions, our dreams, what makes us happy, always spreading kindness, and then try to the obstacles or the hardships, just try to see that, oh, this is just helping me. This is to help me to become even a better person. Because then I hold more light, I don't hold grudges. I'm not angry or negative. I'm just becoming more light. You see what I'm saying? So the more, so it all experience, so something like that. That's how. But yes, the more we connect to our higher self, then the more we can understand that we're in a simulation and that we can, master more the lessons. Something
Awesome,
like
awesome.
that.
No, awesome. So, question number 9. How is everything being recorded when it's shown in our life review?
Yeah. So from my experiences, basically, like again, like everything is recorded in your soul blueprint, which is like an electric magnetic field database. So imagine it like a yeah, like a DVD, right, around you, like that stores all the information. So your soul blueprint is like a DVD around you, your soul, that stores all the all the database, all the information of all your experiences. And then as it stores all the information, it stores all your memories, all your deeds, all your learnings. It's all being recorded in your soul blueprint. And then as it's recording your soul blueprint basically it's like a matrix of like it's just the way I also came to see it is like the Merkaba, it's like the star around me, and then it had information and database that was recorded in the soul blueprint, and then basically the higher self creates this database soul blueprint, and then that makes sure that you are that keeps track basically, right? It keeps track of all your experiences, your soul basically keeps track of how well you're kind of like mastering the lessons, and then with the karma as well, right? Everything is like it's kind of it's just a database that stores everything. Then your next lifetime is like, okay, how we do how was everything recorded in the soul blueprint? Okay, well, you were able to master this lesson to this amount. This you've done really well with this ones. Okay, now we know that in this next one, I know we still need to work more a little bit on this letting go, the forgiveness. Okay, so for this next lifetime, we're gonna create this other avatar scenario that is gonna be able to, then you're gonna create that next simulation that you're gonna go through all these experiences, right? And then again, it records everything, right? So everything is being recorded in your soul blueprint, which is like basically again, it's like like an energy field around you that stores everything. So that's kind of like how I came to see that everything's like a database, and then we're in a simulation, so it's like we're like in a computer program, really. So and then and your soul blueprint, it really is like a software that stores everything, all your experiences. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm glad you explained that because there's people who have had, well, numerous people who have had NDEs where they're able to see, like I remember they did an interview with someone who had an experience where they were able to see, they went into like the Akashic records, whatever, and able to see the Indian I think the Spanish Indian War or just something where there was just no cameras. There was no way that anybody could possibly ever have, taped or recorded this, but he was seeing it in real time. And a lot of people have this experience where they could see past historical situations or even situations where they, were with somebody and they had an experience during their life review. And you're just like, how could there was nobody, there was no camera, there's no hidden camera. How was this recorded? It's kind of freaky. And then this explains it, that it is something that, in my mind, when you say it's in our electric magnetic field, I kind of think of
Yeah,
like
your
my
electromagnetic
aura, like
field,
some kind of like
your
sphere
aura.
around, yeah, that's just pulling in all this data all the time. So that's
Yeah,
interesting.
like and maybe there's a few. I'm not that kind of person. I don't have that ability, but I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that they can have access to files, your files, because imagine like you're in your aura, your soul, your electromagnetic field. It's just a
Mm,
huge file, computer file that, so, and then like, let's say, oh, like I know that that's how it works. And where like, you're like, okay, let me look at this, Haji's files, and then I'm like, okay, kind of like, hologram. Okay. Oh, I see here's her file and this, all
like,
these
oh
lifetimes.
my God, throw it away, throw it away.
I mean, that's everyone, everybody has their files. So,
uh,
if I mean, they're really there, but people don't know. Like, I even at one time, I was when I used to live in England in Cambridge, I was coming up with an idea that it'd be so amazing to create like some kind of, like I don't know, medical equipment, kind of like an MRI that
mm,
through that it kind of like would somehow read through lasers your energy field, and then would
yeah.
have access to your all your lifetimes. I mean, I just came up with that idea, but I mean, we don't have the
Oh, that would be
technology. But
great. Yeah.
eventually, I think they will create something like that in the future. Like, they'll have the technology to. I mean, by then, reincarnation will be completely. People will know that that's the new reincarnation will be proven. I would say within the next, you know, maximum 20 years, even probably less. Like that will be the
Mm,
new reality of humanity. Like, oh yeah, through quantum mechanics, right? Quantum
yeah.
mechanics is going to prove reincarnation through parallel universe theory. Like that's
And
going to be the new reality of humanity. Like the Earth, oh yeah, the Earth is round. Yes, okay, we go around the sun. That's how it's going to be reincarnation. Like, of course, that's the new.
yeah. So do you think that psychics, like people who have psychic, well, I mean, not all psychics, obviously, but that some psychics are able to read that foul
Yeah,
information
I
around
think
people?
so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And and a few times I have been able to have access to those files too. Like maybe seeing like the future of the people, or what's going to
Hmm.
happen, like so. Then I mean, it's not like I'm not it's just they automatically kind of come pop into my
Yeah,
head, my vision. It's not like, oh, let me focus on it. I'm not really a reader, a Akashic record reader, but I have been able to have access to other people's records as well,
mm,
and so, or and the collective as well. Like, right, you hack it's like hacking into the matrix, or you can
yeah,
hack into different programs. And that's why too, like seeing the future is like hacking into the universal consciousness. You're able to
yeah,
hack into the universal mind, and then you're able to see it hacking
yeah,
in a
yeah,
negative way. It just, you have access to all the information, across time and space. So
yeah.
yeah.
And I just wanted to mention one more thing before we pass this question is because that you kind of mentioned was like people know that, and I think this happens to everybody. You have the same experiences that keep coming at you over and over again, and it drives you crazy. The same, and it's generally not the same positive. It's usually the most challenging or stressful or dramatic situations that keep coming at you. And I think to some extent, most people realize, okay, it's something that I have to tackle, I have to deal with, and I have to get over. So when you were talking about having the higher self kind of putting these challenges and start saying, okay, well, you passed this test and you did this and you got over this one and you learned this virtue, then it really is just that. It's something that you literally, it's like a quiz or a pop quiz that you have to pass. And if you don't pass it, they're going to keep sending it right back to you until you get it, until you have the
Yeah,
passing
yeah,
grade.
yeah. It's your higher self, really, right? It's your higher self
Yeah.
that,
All
you
right. And
know.
so the final question is, what is the purpose of a life review in the Council of Light?
Yeah. So again, the life review, basically, it's amazing to really wraps your head around what this whole thing about the life review, because it kind of basically proves that we're in a simulation, right? Like, because if everything's being recorded, because we're in a simulation, right? Because when you go to the life of you're able to relive, and you enter a simulation, and they play the whole movie. You see what I'm saying? So right now, everything in your whole life is being recorded, everything. So it really is a simulation. So that's just one of the fascinating things for me, that is, wow, this life review, it's just a confirmation that we are actually in a simulation. And again, the life review basically just records your progress, right? Because kind of like the council life will say, like, okay, how did you feel about your lifetime, and how did you do with this lesson and this lesson, and then so it kind of records all your progress, your learnings. And then again, I think, like I was mentioned before, like at the end, it's like to help the souls choose, make the decision and choose the choice of benevolence, right? So, if in your life review, maybe you were not such a good person, whatever, that, okay, man, yeah, I feel bad about that. In the next lifetime, I'm gonna strive to become a better person. And so I think that the life review helps in that sense as well, so that it can help us, uh, you know, ultimately choose the light or benevolence, so that it kind of keeps recording there. And that's why too, from my experience, is like, I can never like hurt anyone, and I could never steal, and I could never, harm people, or, lie, or all these things. I just can't do anything like that. But that's because my soul won't let me, because I'm already to a certain point where in my evolution, that is already in my matrix, in my system, that is like that I always choose the decision of benevolence. I mean, I'm not there either yet, but I just know that that's kind of like, it's been like everything accumulates in my database, in my aura, in my blueprint, where I actually will always try to. I mean, I'm not there either, but I will always try to always do always the right thing. Be a good human being, respect people, and be kind to people. So yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So we only did one part of this. This entire
This one.
presentation is over 151 slides, people. Like, Raphael really went into depth to just really explain this to everyone. And what he's going to do in the future, in the very near future, maybe this month or next month, definitely before the end of 2024, is the goal, is he's going to provide webinars from his website. And I will give you his website in a minute, but from his website, he is going to express and explain all of this in detail. And if you want to get all this information, then you need to go to his website and then subscribe and, add yourself to these webinars. So if you could just kind of just go through, because I mean, I don't know, we can read them out. We should read them out, or just like you can just show these 3 slides so people can see all of these topics are covered.
Yeah, I'll read them out if you like.
Okay, okay. And then we'll end it there, and then you can stop sharing, and we'll
Okay.
go on.
Perfect. Okay, because yeah, the topics that I have, we'll talk about with questions and answers. That will explain, with a explanation of, and then I will go with a whole series of 10 questions and 10 answers. So the topics, the one we covered today was near death experience, and then the next one is the afterlife, and then we have reincarnation, we have multidimensionality, connecting more to our higher self and removing the veil. Again, right, to your avatar. I mean, to your higher self, and seeing the avatars, right? Completing the cycle of reincarnation, as I mentioned before. After we complete the cycle of reincarnation, so like what happens after we complete the cycle of reincarnation? There's other universes, so other schools that we get to. So I talk about that, and I go through a whole series of questions and answers. The lessons we are here to master. Ascension in consciousness, the higher dimensions of our construct universe. And then I'll talk about the first dimension to the 12 dimensions. So I'll go with dimension 1, and then questions and answers, dimension 2, questions and answers, and then all the way to dimension 12. And then I'll talk about quantum jumping. And then quantum jumping, again, is just that you can quantum jump your consciousness to different lifetimes. And then I'll talk about multidimensional manifestation, which is basically a little bit about, coming one with your other avatars, with your higher self and your other avatars, and bringing abilities from your other avatars into this lifetime and manifest whatever you want in this lifetime. And then I talk about time travel. It's definitely, once you start tapping into your higher self, you can start time traveling, either in this lifetime where you can go, or you can time travel with two parallel lifetimes to the past and the future as well. And then steps to out-of-body experiences, like the different steps of out-of-body experiences and the different levels. And then quantum jumping to other lifetimes. And then life between lives, like where do we go between lives, or where's our higher self at? And then the soul blueprint, which I talk a little bit about in this presentation today, but I go further, I go deeper in each one of them. So, and then the multiverse, and then the council of light, the life review, the Akashic records, the present has an impact on the past and the future lifetimes, the Mandela effect. I know a lot of people are interested in the Mandela effect. Simulation theory, which we were talking about a little bit today. And yeah, that's what we have.
That is a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I follow a lot of spiritual, YouTubes, and, read a lot of spiritual books, and every single one of these topics is mentioned at some point or another, So I mean, you just have the whole, everything's right there. So people definitely need to join your webinar, and we're gonna, RAFAEL's not tech savvy, so it's not going to be extra whatever, but the information you get is just going to be next level. Like if you're trying to become spiritually evolved, this is the place to be. Definitely want to do that. Where they can find you, your website, and and just go from there.
Yeah, my website is decodinglifelessons.com. And again, I came out with that name because once I went to have my life review with the council light, I realized that it was all, each one of those councils represented a lesson. So then that's why I came to come up with that. It's like we start to decode the lessons, right? Like, okay, what are the lessons that we're here to learn? So and then each one of the council lights represents a different lesson. So that's where my website is, Decoding Life Lessons. And then that's where you can, find out a little more about me. I talk a little bit about my awakening, my experiences on the dimensions. And then I talk about my services, and then about different topics that I can be a speaker for different things about the 12 dimensions, about the quantum mind, about highlights of the afterlife, and then about Project Utopia 2025. That's something I'm working with my wife, Linda, which we're basically, when I went to the Akashic Records, I'll share this with the audience. Mm-hmm. The Akashic Record keeper gave me a book, and that was the Book of Earth. And when they gave me the book, I opened the book and I was able to see the future of Earth, that utopia. That's what I was shown. So wow. I saw that humanity was going to finally, be at peace, that they were going to create unions like the European Union, the African Union, the Asian Union, the American Union, the Arabic unions. And then there were going to be many bodies being created in the governments where they're going to be, for world peace and no more famine, no more hunger, universal basic income, free education, all this, the system that's going to be in the future. So with my wife, Linda, we're starting this project where it's called Project Utopia 2025. You can go into our website. And again, it's just our ideas of basically bringing that book that was shown by the Akashic Record Keepers. We're putting it together into, having humanity implement a new system in politics, economics, education, jobs of the future, and the environment. Basically, how can we create a system for the collective that is working for the collective? So we're coming up with a model. Again, we're still working on it. But we're coming up with a model, which is really fascinating about the future of Earth, that like how the new system in politics will be, where it'll be like a party of we're calling it the Ally Party, which will be a whole. There's not going to be just a two party. There's going to be many parties, and then within each, like it'll be like for different sectors, like it'll be like an AI party. That'll be like a party just for AI. How to help humanity evolve even further, and then the party for healthcare. A party just for healthcare. How can we improve our healthcare systems even better? And then the party of economics, how we can implement blockchain and just all this technology for the benefit of humanity. And
Mm.
then and just all the many different
So,
systems that will be all for the collective. So that's our idea.
okay, so this is coming from what you saw on the other side in regards to a book about Earth, right? The Earth's future. So you're taking some of the information that you actually saw, and then and then you two are also putting in your own ideas as well, right? And
Right, right.
yes. And is this starting? It's called Utopia 2025 because it's starting in you're starting it in 2025?
Yeah, we're trying to basically get Project Utopia 2025. And
Hmm.
then yeah, I mean our idea is to right now we just barely put up the website. So we want to
Okay, cool, cool,
establish the
cool.
foundation, and then our idea too is really to create like this kind of like foundation, a company where we create conferences where
Mm,
we bring philanthropists and capital venture capitalists and angel investors. We can bring all these people to invest in different projects, in
yeah,
consciousness projects, in projects about healthcare, in projects about politics, kind of like everything, like maybe you call it Fund the Future Foundation. That's the name we're
yeah,
thinking about it, but it's like creating, projects for the good of humanity and then having them being sponsored by
yes.
different philanthropists. So that's kind of like in a
Yes, that's what
nutshell
we
what we're
need
trying to
now
do.
because everybody has all these great ideas, but you need the money and the people and the support to make it happen. So yes, perfect.
Right.
In
So and we were saying kind of like Shark Tank, but not in a, more like in a
a
way
nice
that
way.
it's like, yeah, in a nice way, right? So I mean, our idea is even to create like some kind of network, and like a TV show where people go and pitch their ideas, and but
Yeah,
all for the good of humanity. Like, how can we improve the world? Well, how can you make the world a better world? And then you
yes.
can go pitch your idea there, and then you get funding,
Awesome,
something like
awesome,
that. So
awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so and then so before you give your, your take home message, your message for humanity, I just want to once again restate that all of this information that you have, this full presentation, or at least part of it, but you're gonna have to do it in bits. It's a lot of information that you will, from starting this month or the next month, you're gonna have webinars or just, like kind of Zoom meetings. Everybody just signs in, but they have to go to your website, the one you just said, Decoding Life, like life lessons. Go to your website and subscribe. We'll have a subscribe button, or they can use the current contact form. Just get in contact with you and make it clear that they want to view these these webinars, and you'll have them provided. You'll connect with them via email, and then you'll give them the information for the Zoom invite. And we'll keep it very simple, right? So this is how kind of we'll move forward because it's a lot of information you
Yeah.
have sitting there that people definitely want, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of information. So, and eventually, I mean, I want to publish the book maybe next year, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So we can go over all those topics, and we can go deep into those questions and answers, and then everybody can ask me questions, too. I mean,
Awesome,
so
awesome.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I
Okay,
would love
so
to help people.
webinars are on the way. Webinars, go to the
Yeah,
website
whatever's on the way.
today and subscribe, or send a contact information to say I want to be, I want to view the webinars. I want to be a part of it. And your take home message for humanity, Raphael.
I mean, I would just say that, for people not to, to follow their dreams, I think that's probably the main thing. Don't be afraid to follow your dreams, right? I think everybody has a light in their heart. Everybody has gifts, so it's like whatever your gift is or whatever your dream is, like follow it and share with the world, right? Because everybody has a different gift. I have my story around sharing with the world. Every single human being has something, like whatever their gift is, share it with the world, and go after your dreams. I would say that's the main thing. Don't be afraid, and just follow your heart, follow your dreams, and always try to become a better person. It's a choice, right? So choose
Hmm.
benevolence, and then and yeah, and just enjoy life. We're in a
Hmm.
simulation, so enjoy the ride.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. As usual, very, very positive message. I thank you so much for your time and your knowledge, Raphael. Send you blessings, and I really do hope people will go to your website and then join these webinars so they can get the full insight of what this is all about and what their role is in this planet and moving this planet towards utopia, into a much better place to be for everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Thank you. And
All right.
thank you, Haji. So proud of you,
Uh,
really, too. You're
All right.
amazing.
All right. So bye to you, Raphael. Until next time.
Okay.
All right.
See
Bye-bye.
you guys.